Alright, so now I'm just going to be walking you through the control panel settings for the CTO630. Okay, so we've got it turned on at the moment, and as you can see, it displays online on the display. So to start off with, the main things that you'll want to do is obviously set the origin point for when you want to cut. So move it across like so with the arrow buttons, and you can obviously move it up and down the vinyl with the up and down arrow keys. If you want to maintain a sort of work out your origin point, as the CTO doesn't return back to the origin point like some of the cutters do, if you press the sort of like crosshair in the middle, as you can see, it sort of returns it to 0 and 0 on the X and Y. This is just so you can help find the origin point after cutting, if you want to sort of return it back to that original area. Okay, take it back to online. Right, now to change sort of settings like force and the speed, if you just click mode here, and then you can displays force. Obviously to change it here, now you just use the plus and minus keys at the bottom. Once you're happy with that, change it back to press mode again. Now you can change the speed, again with the plus and minus keys, and then press mode again, and then you've got the scale X and the scale Y 2000. We advise that you just keep this as default. This is mainly just for the sort of, the settings just for the dimensions of the cutter, so nothing sort of gets skewed or distorted. So we just keep those like that. Take it back to online. There we go. Test. You'll see if I had some vinyl in, that would have done a small square. And then obviously you've got the pause button here. Obviously when you're cutting, that will sort of pause it just during mid-cut if you need to go off and do something. And then finally, with the settings on the control panel, you've got these up and down keys here, and that will move the blade up and down like so. Okay. Now one of the things that you might have with the CTO when you originally turn it on, if you have the cartridge all over to the other side and hitting this little stop switch here, but on the other side of course, you have it hitting there, you might get it displayed just these black sort of boxes just across. This is simply just well, it's sort of malfunctioned just because the stopping switch is being pressed on that side. So turn it off, and then if you slightly move it away and then turn it back on, it should now work correctly. One of the things, a common issue as well with the CTO, is that with the older models they did use a different baud rate. With these newer models since 2014, they use a baud rate of 38400. So if you haven't got it set as 38400, what you might get is the working laser on the display, but obviously no movement coming up when you send a design. Send it to 38400, this should solve it for you. And that sort of concludes pretty much everything for the CTO630. Yeah, thank you.